Hello, everyone. Welcome to Writer Wednesdays with Sarah R. Turnquist. For those of you who are new, I am a multi-published, best-selling, clean historical romance author, and I'm part of the 80% of creatives that have a mood disorder. Anyone who has struggled with a mood disorder knows that there are just bound to be days that you can't make yourself do much or anything. Even getting out of bed can be a challenge. So what about me? As we discussed before, I have a depressive mood disorder as well as a SAD diagnosis that stands for seasonal affective disorder. So while a random low mood day or bad day isn't huge, I can take a mental health day and be okay. But what happens when I'm on a deadline? Or if the low days happen several times in a row? I do have a couple of worksheets that I use and have linked below. I sat down and wrote out what kinds of work activities are energy draining, what are energy giving activities, and then I looked at what tasks require a lot of energy out of me and which are the more low energy tasks. Okay, friends, I'm going to walk us through these sheets. The first one in the packet, I call it Energy Gifters. And basically, you want to write down activities and tasks that give you energy. You could even put food, drink, stuff like that. Does brainstorming energize you, or plotting, or coffee? Definitely one of the things that helps me out. So we have our energy gifters. Then we have our energy drainers. These, again, are activities, tasks, food, drinks that drain your energy or leave you depleted. If you have sugar with your lunch, do you have a crash afterward? And that drains your energy. Is it more creatively intensive for you to do writing? Is it creatively intensive or more so for you to interact in meetings if you're an introvert? Anything that you can think of that will drain your energy, put it on this sheet. The next one are high energy tasks. These are the things that you are doing that take a lot of energy, that require a lot of energy. So things like writing, perhaps, or marketing related, if these are things that require a lot out of you, you're going to want to put them on this sheet. And so if you wake up with one of those days that your mood is just not there for you, this is the sheet of stuff you may want to stay away from because it's going to take a lot of energy that you don't have. This is the sheet that you're going to want on those days, the low energy tasks. So these are the activities and tasks that, again, don't require a lot of energy to complete. Maybe for you, that's posting on social media. For someone else, that's going to be a high energy task. Perhaps reading will go on this list. So on those low mood days, you pull out this sheet and you try to make some progress on the things that you can do that don't require a lot of energy out of you. And so all of these sheets are available in the comments, in the description. If you'll pop down in the description, you'll find a link to get these sheets. So I used to, and sometimes still do, beat myself up if I can't push through the mood. So I would often sit at my desk, unable to work, and then be hard on myself for my inability to work, which would make the mood worse. And it becomes a terrible, terrible cycle. So I generally have a list of to-dos at the beginning of the week that I spread throughout the days of the week. But when I have those days that are just down days, I can pull out my requires low energy task sheet when I wake up having one of those days. And I can still make some progress toward my goals, even if it's not the kind of progress I'd like to make. I have to still preach to myself, progress, not perfection, right? But I can still check some things off the list, which for me is very important. When there is a deadline coming up, especially in the fall or winter when SAD is at its hardest, I look at my projected word count and the days I have to work. But I do something further. I mark off random days here and there at least once a week for buffer days, I'll call them. For those days that I just can't write, as that is a task that requires a lot of mental and creative energy. Then I'll take the remaining days between now and the deadline and work out how many words I need per day not including or taking into account those buffer days. On the good days, I can often work ahead. And on the hard days, I don't need to beat myself up or worry about it because of those buffer days that are built in. The further into the fall, winter, low sunlight season, the more buffer days I set aside. This is not to say that my system works perfectly for me or will even work for you. I hope that it will. But I can say that it eases my frustrations and anxiety on those days when I can't push through. And there are days you can and days that you should not. That can be a very delicate balance, and it comes from knowing yourself better and what you're capable of and when you need to rest. Thanks for watching, and make sure you check out those printables linked in the description below. See you next time.